Brenda J. Lilly here from Creative Consultations. I just wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video that says I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just here to engage, to encourage, and hopefully empower other artists to go out and live their art dream. So here we go. Enjoy the video. Well, good Monday morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here, and it is time for another Monday morning kickstart. Here it is April 7th. Can you even believe it? April 7th, 2025. Well, let's get on to this video. I hope you like it. If you do, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, share it with everyone you know and love so that we can all continue to become who we were created to be. All right, without further ado, let's get on to today's video. I'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Well, good Monday morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here. I have a pink cup of water because I'm in a new location and I forgot my cup of coffee downstairs and I need to record this video right now while it's in my head. So I'm going to drink the water instead of the coffee. I hope you have a cup of coffee. So let's get on to this video because I'm super excited. We've been away from each other for far too long. Let's get this kickstart going. All right. Today I want to talk about that was really high energy. I don't know if I have enough energy for the rest of the video. I hope I do. Today I want to talk about building something new. Letting go of what was so that you can build something new. I've talked about the letting go process. We know that I've gone through a fairly large transition in the last few months, leaving the Netherlands, moving back to America, shutting down my house, selling all of my worldly belongings except for 4 suitcases and 3.5 boxes. And that was a process, man. It was a huge process. And now I've landed in America. And another process begins, the building process. I decided to take this transition more slowly than any other transition I've ever done in my life. And I've gone through a lot of life transitions. And I've always left the place I was and came to the place I was going and hit the ground running and just started going as fast as I could to build what it is I was there to create or build, to do what I was there to do. I never gave myself room or time to breathe, to sort of re-enculturate, to get to know my surroundings. Like I had to learn that on the fly. In my mind, in order to be acceptable to the people around me, in order to be considered good at what I was doing, in order to be considered capable, I had to be able to hit the ground running. And I didn't. Sorry, I got an information pop up and it confused me. So I always hit the ground running, and I didn't really clock it until the last transition before this one, where when I tried to hit the ground running, it nearly ended me. And it made me a little gun shy of transitions. I really wasn't interested in major life transitions for a while. I didn't want one. And then this one happened. And as so many of them do, they happen without our say-so, really. They just sort of come. And you either push them away or fight with them, or you accept them. I accepted this one and I said, okay, this is going to be big, but I'm going to do this one differently. I'm going to slow my roll. I am not going to start by hitting the ground running and just going. I'm going to let the transition sort of helped me into the reinculturalization process and help me to understand the lay of the land. Like I want to get those things down first before I go at building the next thing. And it's interesting because this weekend my family and I built a chicken coop. We're getting 6 new chicks in a week. And so we're getting, and they're chicks, so they're not going to go right to the coop. But we wanted to build the coop so that it was ready for them because they'll transition there fairly quickly. And the whole family had to come together to build this thing. And on Saturday, we got through a lot of it. We put the thing almost all together, but we didn't have the right directions. In fact, we had the wrong directions to a whole other coop. And so for a while, we were just sort of trying to figure out if we had all the pieces parts. And then we just started going rogue. And then my brother found a YouTube video of the particular coop that we had that we were building. And so we watched that video, I think 3 or 4 times, and then we went rogue and we just started slamming these pieces together because what the video didn't show us is which screws to use, which nuts and bolts to use on what pieces parts, and they were all like individually wrapped. You know how flat packs come, right? Flat packs are my torturous hell. But so we just said, well, it's about this thick and these are about that thick. So these screws should go here and these nuts and bolts should be used. And it seems like that would work out fine. We got almost finished. We didn't have the roof on. We hadn't put the run onto it. The we hadn't attached all the pieces parts. We had some things that we didn't even know what they were for, you know. And then we covered it over because it was going to start raining, and we just said, okay, let's just get it under a good cover and wait until this weekend passes because it was supposed to just pour buckets all day Saturday and Sunday. And so we covered it over, and it was so funny. We got in, and my niece Christine and nephew Joe came in after his birthday dinner. And she said, "Oh, I put the directions to that coop in another drawer." And out came the coop directions. So suddenly we had the right directions to put this coop together. Immediately my thought was, would have been helpful 5 hours ago, but it's not her fault. She had put them where she thought we could find them. We just didn't find them. The next day it didn't rain. So Saturday morning, well, it did eventually, but in the morning it was still dry, and my brother and I had breakfast, and I said, why don't we go out and build that coop, finish building the coop, just get it done. I said, we have the directions, let's just do it. So we ate breakfast and we went out and we put this thing together. And I have to say, it was so much easier, so much simpler. There was so much less stress involved and less like frustration involved because we had the plan. And here's what I learned from that experience. So I'm 1 week into my sabbatical because I decided when I landed, I was going to go into an immediate sabbatical to sort of get my feet on the ground, to pray, to seek, to discover, so that I knew what direction I needed to go in and how to begin building the next thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I want the plans. So God gave me this week not a life lesson. He gave me a life lesson in building new things. And we had one day of frustration and angst uh, and then just acceptance of the unknown and not knowing what we were doing, and it was fine. And then the presentation of the plan, had we waited for a hot second, and then the next day, implementing the plan, the work becoming easy. You know, scripture said, Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy and my burden light. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. Take my yoke upon you, for my..." Okay, I looked it up because I decided it was important to quote it properly. It's Matthew 11:28 through 30 for those of you who want to look it up. And these are the words of Jesus. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." When we take a minute to slow down, to wait, for me, I pray and I seek his face. I seek his wisdom, his plan for my life. However it is, you slow down, to stop, to listen, to sort of understand before leaping, before running headlong into whatever it is you're about to do, hitting the ground running. I mean, Friday was just an absolute hot mess, a dumpster fire, if you will. And it was hysterical because all of the Lilies were there, except for Christine, who was at work, the one person who knew where the plans were. Oh man, Ashevitz, that, my friends, is a life lesson. That's just figuring things out. That literally is the mirror, holding the mirror up to nature, right? Oh my goodness. So we got done what we could get done. And then when the plans came in, my brother and I were able to finish it in like an hour. And we realized, oh, we used the wrong screws in places, and we used the wrong nuts and bolts in places. But luckily, there were enough of other things that actually worked that we could make it come together properly and be really secure and hold tight. So that was good. That was good. Um, but it is a life lesson to us to slow down. When we take a moment to slow down and we actually receive the plan and start to perceive the plan and walk forward in wisdom rather than just sheer strength and will of our own, when we actually have the plan and we know where we're headed and we know what it is we're supposed to be building And how? We've got the plan, man. It really does lighten the burden. It lessens frustration. It allows you to sort of sail through these moments when you have the plan. In order to get the plan, you need to slow down. Had we waited until Saturday morning, had we said, hey, we want to build the coop this weekend, all hands on deck, Christine would have said, oh, the plans are, and she would have told us where they are if she couldn't, because she works on Saturdays. And had we done that, we would have been saved. But we didn't. We thought we had everything. We didn't. We thought we had the right plans. We discovered they were the wrong plans. Did we stop? No. We kept pushing forward, working on our own strength, not asking for the help we needed. Graciously, the help we needed was provided later. And sometimes I can honestly tell you that is exactly how God works. When we run ahead of him, he says, okay, have a nice time, kids. And then when we go, oh, help me, he goes, here it is. I had it back there, but you didn't want it. But now you do. So here it is. Learn from me. I will give you rest. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. It was so funny on Saturday when my brother and I went out and we finished putting that thing together and we came up with a plan and we talked about the chicken runs that we still need to build around the 2 coops we have. There was just an ease that was between us and around the entire amount of work that we were doing. And I just so appreciated that ease. And so I wanted to share it with you today because I wanted to share with you that sort of crazy little life lesson that God gave me in my first week of sabbatical. He said, oh, really? Are you slowing down? Are you really slowing down? Are you learning how to wait for my plans for your life? Because I have a good plan. I have a really good plan for your life. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Are you ready to wait for those plans? Are you ready to receive those plans? Or do you want to keep running ahead? You get to make the choice. That's free will. We can talk all about that on a whole other video, but it's so funny, isn't it? How we constantly run thinking we're doing the right thing. And I'm not saying building the coop was a wrong thing. In fact, it became a really fun, crazy, stupid dumpster fire of a family activity. And we got a lot accomplished without the plan. But when the plan came in, it just became exponentially easier. So I give that to you today. Be encouraged. Don't rush ahead. Breathe. Take moments to stop, listen, reevaluate, rejuvenate, recover, rest, and listen some more. And when you know what it is you're supposed to move into, what it is you're supposed to begin building, well, then you'll have the plan and you'll be able to more easily maneuver your way through that next step. So that's what this sabbatical is all about for me. Slowing down, listening, getting his plan for my life. breathing, not running ahead, thinking I know what I'm doing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I know better. All right. I love you. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a blessed and wonderful week. I will see you next Monday for our next Monday morning kickstart. Bye for now. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.